This week on the Unpopular Opinion Show.
You're damn right I'm jealous of Michael B. Jordan. She draws her weapon, she yells, taser, taser, fires, and then says, oh, I shot him.
Yeah, here you go, girl. Put my face all over it.
Did I take my pants off on this episode? There was one part in the show where you said, eat a dick. And I was like, oh, that has to be it.
Now you're getting into our head.
All
I'll say is, you guys have a niche, we have a niche.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't care if you personally kick Candace Owens and her stinky
Cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular, and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
Welcome. What's populating, what's craculating, and all that. Welcome to another episode of the Unpopular Opinion Show, better known as Unpopin Show. Hashtag Unpopin Show or at Unpopin Show on all social media, and of course, unpopin.com. I go by the name of T Storm, and joined by my partner, as always, the one of a few, Mr. DJ Mike Swift.
What's happening, brother? What's going on, man?
Trying to excuse me, regain my balance. I haven't installed a cough button here yet, so forgive me, people. I'm choking off coffee and and dog hair, so I'm having.
What the fuck? Is that a seasoning now? Spices, dog hair?
Hell no. At least not for African Americans. It's not one. It's not a wanted one. It's not a desired one. My German Shepherd is shedding a little bit. I'm trying to alleviate that as best as I can. If you have any tips out there, please let me know. I hear you're supposed to brush them every day. I haven't committed to that. So, yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, folks. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment. That helps us in the YouTube ranking. We have a goal we're trying to reach, and we want you to join the Unpoppin community, help grow the audience, help grow the influence. So if you like the content, please take a second to like and subscribe. And if you hate us, like our most recent commenter, comment also.
Wait.
We have
we got a new
we
one.
have now been accused. Yeah. We got another comment from a viewer who accused us of being jealous of Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I laughed so hard at that one. I loved it. Oh man, please, nothing gives me more pleasure than hate comments. If you like it, that's all good, and we actually respond. But when you disrespect, oh, it's great. I get a kick out of it.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but she was right. You damn right I'm jealous of Michael B. Jordan. He rich, he tall, he muscular, he look good, no homo, and he got a hot chick. Yes, I'm jealous.
Have you seen Creed?
God damn it.
Have you seen Creed 2? Creed 1, he was fit,
Yes.
like really fit. And I Creed 2, he was like, oh, this man could actually do like action movies. So yeah, I'll second that. Yeah, I'm a little jealous. I still rocking the dad bod very proudly, but if there was a button I could press to exchange the dad bod for the Michael B. Jordan, I do it.
Damn right. Damn right. So thanks again for joining us. Yes, little jealousy. Thanks for commenting. I can't remember that person's name, and I'm just honestly not in the business of shouting out people who aren't subscribers. So just, that is what it is. We got a special show today. A couple of guests joining us. Jay the Q, or JQ the Legend, excuse me, and Miriam Bavly from Breakout Music. JQ the Legend actually has a song out there right now from 19. That's some heat. We'll talk about that. But these two individuals have an amazing story, and they have not one, but two shows on Netflix, movies, written,
yes.
produced, directed, even edited by them. So we'll talk to them, talk about their journey, and talk about the latest film coming up, The Drone That Saved Christmas. Talk about, they'll be joining us shortly, actually.
Yeah, actually, shortly. They'll be coming up. Yeah. In the meantime, we can say this was probably the worst week, one of the worst weeks of 2021 thus far in this country. Several things happened. You've seen it by now. Where do I start? Just miles away from the Derek Chauvin case. Is that am I saying his last name right?
I believe so.
The ex-officer that killed George Floyd. Not far from that, another young man was shot to death by a police officer who claimed she thought it was her taser, that she had her taser out and mistakenly fired one fatal bullet, and at close range at that. From something that began as a traffic stop. Young man lost his life. Our condolences to the family, but don't we get sick of these stories? I mean,
we do. And just because you know me, I like to be as accurate as possible. I have not done a super in-depth level of digging on this, but as I understand it, he ran from them, crashed. They approached the car to get him out, and he got back in to try to run away. Or there was some resistance there.
Right.
She draws her weapon. She yells, "Taser, taser," fires, and then says, "Oh shit, I shot him."
Right. As he drove away, as he fled.
Right. So I did do some due diligence, right? And I did look up some stuff. Generally speaking, in most jurisdictions and most police officers, they have their firearm holstered on their dominant hand side for that side draw. So if I'm right-handed dominant, my gun is on my right-hand side, and I would use my right hand to draw that weapon. Taser is the non-dominant hand, the other side, same way. Not a crossbody draw for your right hand, but a draw for your left hand for your taser, right? And then they train. So when you get into the heat of the moment, you don't go right thinking you have your taser.
You have to actually go across.
Or left thinking you have your firearm, right? And the taser is a like a neon yellow. It is, the weight is different. Firearm is much heavier, and it is a bright yellow or some other bright color.
Right.
So it is very easily distinguished from an actual firearm.
Right.
So do I think that the officer's name is Kim Potter? And she resigned. The police chief resigned, and she has been brought up on charges of manslaughter. But do I believe she woke up on Tuesday and said, or whatever day it was, and said, "Let me go kill somebody"? No, I don't think that happened. But I think it was gross ignorance, complete failure in training.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been out there. Shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah.
If you don't notice the difference, if you don't notice from your training that you're drawing from the wrong side, you're holding something heavier than a taser, and you can see it, and it's not the yellow color.
Right.
You don't need to be out there, man.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that this person, that officer mistaken a gun for. It's hard to even believe. That's like the difference between a baton and a gun. I don't get it, but we get sick of these stories. There was another incident that happened long before now, but it just came to light. A lieutenant in the armed forces was pulled over, and pepper sprayed and beat and handcuffed, also for during another traffic stop. Whew.
I watched that video. And I try to be even-minded and even-handed. But after watching that video, I was like, I can't even defend that dude. Like the cop, I can't come up with anything. Right? The army lieutenant, what is his name?
Nazario.
I can't.
Karan Nazario.
Say it again.
Karan.
Yeah.
Nazario is his name. Lieutenant.
He did nothing wrong.
No.
Nothing. They pulled him over because they didn't see his tag, right? His tag wasn't in the typical place that a tag would be. He was driving along a dark road. He went, I think, about a quarter mile or something, pulled over into a lit gas station, stopped, did the whole
window.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
As they got out of the car, weapons drawn, they realized his tag was in his window.
Right.
So they get to the car. He's like, why are you stopping me? What's going on? And they're, get out of the car, get out of the car. And he's like, okay, for what? And they pepper sprayed him. And it was
unnecessary. Unnecessary.
That one was super damn irritating.
Completely unnecessary. What's even more infuriating, forgive me, folks, excuse me. What's even more infuriating about the story is that after, when things finally start to calm down, well, and I'm talking about the officers, not the lieutenant. The lieutenant never got irate. Never raised his voice. He did everything correct. They dragged him out the car, pepper sprayed him several without warning. By the way, they claimed in the report that they warned him. That was what they lied about that. Afterwards, there's body cam footage of the officer threatening his livelihood, basically saying, hey, you can leave this alone. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, you can leave this alone, and we can go. We can stay here and make sure your eyes are good, so you can hit the road and so you can drive. Or you can pursue it, and we can charge you and mess up your career in the army. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Fucking dare you?
Like
the unmitigated gall.
Oh man! And so that officer ultimately was fired. I believe he was fired, and he should be charged. Both officers should
Absolutely.
be charged. And we'll see.
Absolutely.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant. I'm saying his name wrong again. Nazario is suing, as he should. But yeah, it's just watching and just how they treated him. And mind you, he's in full uniform. You've seen the video by now. He's in full uniform. Not yelling, not cussing. What you stopped me for? He's like, hey, what's the problem? What's going on? You got your guns drawn? No, I'm too scared to reach for my seatbelt. I'm scared to get out the car. And the cop says, you should be. The fuck? So now add that to the threat. You just said, I should be scared. And I've done nothing wrong. Like, it's, oh my God.
And it again shows, not only failure in policing, but a breakdown in training, right? Because there are two officers, guns drawn. One says, keep your hands out the window. The other one says, get out the car.
Right.
Well, how do I do both?
Conflicting.
I got to undo my seatbelt. I got to open the door. I can't do both. And y'all got y'all guns pointed at me. So I ain't moving my hands out from your sight at all.
Right.
I ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Because he's reaching and put a bullet in me. No, thank you. But, amidst a lot of this, protests have broken out.
And that's just two incidents.
Even here in Atlanta.
That's just two incidents from this week. The other incident was another young man who was walking along his neighborhood and was accosted by an army sergeant. Oh well, okay. I don't know if he was in the army or not.
I think he was.
He is an army sergeant. Yes, army sergeant. I want to make sure I'm clear. who stopped him and accused him of being in the wrong neighborhood, basically. Where are you going? What are you doing here? You don't belong here. You're in the wrong fucking neighborhood. That sort of thing. And then assaulted him, pushed him. I think before the video started, he probably it sounds like he put his hands on him before we saw what was happening. And it's a young man. He was, I don't know if he's a teenager or not. Young dude, little skinny dude. He wasn't no threat to nobody. And here's this muscle-bound, seemingly steroid-ridden, barking at this little dude, man. Like, he got arrested. I'm sure at some point he'll probably lose his job in the Army as well, as he should. That happened in South Carolina. He is
42-year-old Jonathan Pentland, based at Fort Jackson in Columbus, South Carolina. That's the offender in the story that T is telling.
Right. The young man hasn't been identified.
The young man,
he's not been identified. But it made clear that he's not.
But what I think is probably more interesting about that story is, here's this sergeant, and he has his preconceived notions about people of color, obviously, and decided to act on it. That is what it is. We have those outliers everywhere. Yep. Extreme bad behavior people. The neighbors, however, were all standing around recording it on their phones and going, yeah, you don't belong here. They're piling on. So they are by their active involvement condoning this bad behavior. That scares me, I think, more than the single outlier.
I put a video out. I don't, Mike, if you got a chance to see it, I threw it out this week because watching that video reminded me of another video that I saw that resurfaced from the 70s. There were some black youths riding their bikes in somewhere in Queens. I want to say like Rosedale, Queens, I think it was. 1976. And it was like some sort of protest. These white folks were out protesting and yelling at, I believe it was a black neighbor that had moved into the neighborhood that they didn't want there. And they're, screaming the N-word and they're, I mean, it's a family gathering. Both adults and children are out screaming obscenities and nigga go home, get away from that sort of thing. And these kids, black kids, riding their bikes along, had no idea what was going on, thought it was a block party of some sort, and rode down and got accosted by this mob. And I paired the two videos from the 70s, 1976, and we'll post it up so you can see it as well.
Someone came running at the
house. You better walk away. You walk away. You're talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
We were riding down this block and his white people start saying, get out of here, niggas. Get out of my neighborhood. Don't come to this neighborhood. And then they start hitting on her.
Throwing rocks and everything else.
Throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Get out. Get out. Where? Where's your house? What's your address?
Maybe we should walk you home.
That's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. Yeah. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong.
But from 1976, with these kids yelling, nigga, go, what you doing here, nigga? Get out of here. It's our neighborhood, da, 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 da. To a black girl on a bike, to this Army sergeant yelling at this black young man. And it cuts to like the news report. I guess a news reporter had found the kids. Actually, it goes on that they found them as adults later on. But in that moment, that day, they got to the kids and asked them what was going on, what was happening. And one of the children, black girl, was like, "Yo, they just ran up on us. They just ran up on us, was screaming, "Nigga, go home!" This, that, and started, throwing rocks and kicking and hitting her, and because we're in their neighborhood. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? There was another young lady. She had been a teenager at the time that was saying, "Yeah, they were on an outing to McDonald's. They were simply just riding their bikes, not bothering anyone, and were accosted by this mob." So I say all that to say, 1976, 2021, how much has changed? And don't be surprised that the neighbors are anything like the dude, because that's the type of shit that happens. Unless there are people that speak out and go, "Hey, no, we don't do that." And there were none.
Yeah, and I think that part scares me the most, right? Like, what's the saying? For evil to triumph, all it takes is for good men to do nothing.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I think a evil person doesn't scare me. A group of evil people goddamn terrifies me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very disappointed with America this week. But why? But why? Because this shouldn't be surprising. It's just exhausting. This has to, it's exhausting. And I know I can't be the only one that feels this way. This shit is exhausting.
It is. It's almost desensitizing.
Yeah.
Like I feel desensitized to it to some degree. And it's bad, right? Like, it's not like I want it to be, or I set out to be, or tried to be, but it's just like, okay, again, here we go again, Anyway, shifting gears to lighter fare. And speaking of being disappointed,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you hear about your boy Usher?
Yeah, with the Usher bucks.
Usher hits the strip club. He making it rain. These chicks is going nuts, picking up the money, and they realize later that it's all goddamn fake ass money with his face on it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be like for promotional, something that he has coming up or whatever. In case he should.
Yeah, I think he's doing a show in Vegas, and and please correct me in the comments, because I think I read this story a while ago and just didn't remember all the specifics, but I think he's doing like a show in Vegas, and the Usher bucks are like redeemable at the casino or something like that. But it's obviously not real money. I think it does have some type of value, but that ain't what them girls wanted. They wanted cash money, right?
Yeah,
like they out there doing their thing, and he's throwing that old fake ass money.
Yeah, here you go, girl. Put my face all over it. I'm just surprised that Usher's able to move around the way he's moving around, and people, like, okay, I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. When I hear "Let It Burn," it means a completely different thing to me now. I'm just saying, people forgot. Like,
Don't Let It Burn should be the remix.
Put it out. It should
the
be.
Follow-up single is they make a cream for that.
Shot in the ass. That's what we call it.
Shot in the ass is what the strippers were hoping to get.
I realize we get to a point. I realize there's a line that I'm just ready to jump across and go, oh, nope. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna stop.
It's funny you say that, because we got hit with our second violation from YouTube And I swear to God, this time I have no idea what it's about. The video did not get pulled down. The thumbnail got pulled down. It's from the after show, episode 33. We talk about Exhibit's divorce and Dre's divorce and some other things. But the violation was for sex and nudity. And when I saw it, like I woke up in the middle of the night because the email came in. Apparently YouTube works at 3 a.m. I don't know. But it came in the middle of the night and I looked at it.
That's midnight on the West Coast.
Did I take my pants off on this episode? Right?
Oh man. It said violence and nudity?
It says sex and nudity.
Sex and nudity. They must not listen to the show. Well, I got a pass on everything else. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't for the photo in the thumbnail or
the photo in the thumbnail was a picture of Exhibit's wife from the neck up, and a picture of Exhibit from the neck up, and a picture of me from the neck up, and we all had our clothes on. So I don't know. And there was one part in the show where you said "eat a dick," and I was like, "Oh, that has to be it."
That has to be a promo by itself. Like just that you have to use in when we put this episode out, you have to use that clip. There was a part in the show when you said "eat a dick." You have to use that part because out of context, it's like what? Yeah.
We just made the show open.
Right.
What else is happening in the world other than despair and sadness and Usher's fake ass money? You know what? There was a story. Okay, so have you watched Luther?
I have not. I've heard so much about the show. My mom has told me about it. She loves Idris Elba. My wife does too. And so I purposely don't watch the show. My wife is like, oh, Idris Elba. If I watch it, I have a feeling I'll be sitting here looking at my wife like, why are you looking so damn hard? like, you're enjoying this a little bit too much. Turn this shit off. No, I haven't watched the show yet. I've heard that it's really good though.
It is, and you on some old fuck that dude protest. That's hilarious. But
yes.
It is a fantastic show. I've watched it from beginning to end. Probably one of the more complex police characters I've seen in a television show in a long time. Idris does his thing. I think like that, every actor has the iconic role that people know them for.
Right.
Like Don Cheadle will always be Mouse from Devil in a Blue Dress to me. No matter whatever the fuck he does, he's gonna be Mouse from that movie.
I just recently saw that movie, by the way. I just recently saw it. I had never seen it before. And I've seen it twice now because it just happened to be on. I was flipping through and caught it. And then when Don Cheadle enters, I was like, oh, this is the character. And so I was invested. When he kills dude, just not kills dude, when he just shoots dude like, oh, you ain't gonna talk? Pa! And then I was like, wait. Dude runs off. You have to see the movie to understand what I'm talking about. Like that was the don't give a fuck character that was just like, oh man, that's Don Cheadle. I concur.
But it's an iconic role, right? Like whenever you see Don Cheadle, you'll think Mouse. Whenever you see Idris Elba, you're gonna think Luther. Luther has gone down as one of the best shows I've ever seen. But now, the executives over at the BBC, that means British Broadcasting Company, for all of you people whose minds are in the gutter.
Shout out to the BBC. I'm actually doing some work with them coming up soon. I'll talk more about that later.
All right, word up. I'm laughing because there's a BBC you doing work with it joke that we'll probably strike for if I tell. But
I'm not cracking that joke. Hey BBC, thank you. Hey, as my wife commonly says, hey, don't fuck up this money.
And also, there's a joke about you thanking the BBC, right?
You know what? I'm gonna just let it go. Hey, have at it. I'm gonna just sip my hair. Mm-hmm.
But at any rate,
you'll not get me on cracking any BBC jokes today.
They've come out and said that they didn't feel like the character Luther was authentically black, primarily because he didn't have no black friends. So they want to do better. Here's the quote. When Luther first came out, everybody loved the fact that Idris Elba was in there, a really strong black character lead. We all fell in love with him. Who didn't, right? But after you got into about the second series, you got kind of like, okay, he doesn't have any black friends. He doesn't eat any Caribbean food. This doesn't feel authentic. So I have a problem with that. Problem with that.
Who's making that complaint, though? Like, is that black folks? It's like, who's making that complaint? Is that black folks?
The people who made the show.
No, who's making the complaint that the character doesn't do all of these things and therefore he's not authentic? Who's saying that?
The people who made the show.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
This feels one step away from stereotyping.
One step
black
away.
people.
No, you're stepping in it. That is very stereotyping. Like he has to have, again, I can't speak because I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if he's using a British accent or a Jamaican accent or a cross between, because I understand, our brothers and sisters in the UK have a bit of both, right? No, we don't. We all don't eat Caribbean food. not all of us. That's interesting that they would say that. But why are they complete? Like who made the call, or was it Idris Elba that made that call to say no, this character is not going to do this, and this because it's so stereotypical?
So the story doesn't give his input opinion at all, right?
Okay.
It really is coming from Miranda Whalen from the BBC, and she's looking to have more authentic portrayals of minorities, which I get it, right? But when you start talking about, and look, and I'm not going to speak for Asians, Latins, people of Middle Eastern descent, Indian Asian. I'm not going to speak for any of those other groups because I don't know, right? I have limited experience and limited knowledge. But I will speak for the collective of brown people in the world. We a bunch of different mofos, right?
Absolutely.
Like
Facts.
How Africans behave and how Americans behave, different. How Jamaicans behave and how Americans behave, different. It's different. So when you start saying authentic portrayal of people of color or of minority groups, what does that even look like, right? Here's what you do, BBC, and anybody else who's struggling with this. Tell a good goddamn story. Have a strong lead that is not steeped in stereotypes. Have them able to stand on their own, and give them genuine access, genuine pay. Look to include in your hiring practices and your searching practices to hire people of color. Go to where they are. Go to those groups and unions. Bring them in. This digging up stereotypes and what you perceive the culture to be, to portray that and say that's authentic, is kind of BS to me. It's kind of BS. And especially if you look at that Luther character, he was so broken. He was such a fucked up individual. I understand why he ain't have no black friends. They ain't putting up with that shit.
Right. Yeah, I it's just really, that's a really interesting that they would say that, and they're the ones that made the show. I don't know what's that about. That's weird. It's kind of interesting. But yeah. In other news, as we wait for our guest who should be showing up shortly, J-Lo is single again.
And $1.8 million richer.
Right. I was also going to say, in other news, water is wet, but I think I don't. What is it about J-Lo and relationships? Who am I to judge? It's just I saw somebody posted and said, J-Lo can't seem to hold on to a man. I don't think they can hold on to her. Like, I think
that's it.
She's got to the point where it's like, oh, this is nope, and has a short, maybe I don't know, I want to say a short attention span, but maybe short tolerance for whatever happens in a relationship for her to go. Let me look at the dancer. Like,
look, you want to know what I really think? And this is me getting on my red pill shit, YouTube. So there you go.
Hang on, before you go, is this red pill or are we tap dancing?
Oh no, this is red pill. Ain't gonna be no tap dancing.
Okay.
Exactly. So we see this with J-Lo. We see this with Halle Berry.
Mm-hmm.
These are women in their 40s who look amazing. They have, the wall always wins, but they have avoided the wall to some degree. Are you familiar with what the wall is?
No, I was just about to ask, what the hell is the wall?
The wall is that point where women they get to it and it is what it is. It's father time. Your beauty that you had in your 20s, 25, 24, whatever, it's fading and it's going to fade. And the wall is that point where it's like, oh yeah, it's gone. So
wow. Okay.
It comes for all of them. The wall is undefeated. However, you look at a Halle Berry, you look at a J-Lo, they have been slipping and dodging the wall. They have options. What we are seeing with J-Lo and Halle is they are dating like men. They are as single and monogamous as their options. Some shit happened, they don't like it. They're like, deuces, I know I can go get another one. The wall is coming, though. It is undefeated.
The wall, though, it's not like, okay, put it like this. Has Janet Jackson hit that wall? She's another one that looks amazing. She looks amazing, and she's well into her 50s now. She did get married.
And she'll leave a motherfucker quick.
And she's been married at least twice that we know of, allegedly 3 times with a child by one of the DeBarges. Allegedly. But
yeah.
She's not hit the wall. Hang on, our guests are showing up.
Awesome.
This is Miss Miriam Bavly. I want to make sure I pronounce her name correctly. But yeah, the wall is undefeated. That's a very funny.
I didn't make it up. Credit to the manosphere and all of those cats who come up with these clever terms and clever language. Yeah, I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't.
The wall is undefeated. It's like saying Father Time is gonna whoop your ass.
Basically, yes. That's how that works. Look, while we're waiting on them to come in, I gotta give I gotta give credit where credit is due. We talked about several months ago or several weeks ago. We talked about Will Smith and Janet Hubbard burying the hatchet. Janet Hubbard obviously is the first Aunt Viv in the Fresh Prince, and back then we theorized that Black Hollywood would start opening some doors for her to start getting roles, and it was announced that she is going to join the cast of The Last OG, Tracy Morgan's show. She will
That's
play
dope.
Miss May Miller, a friend of Tiffany Haddish's character, who has a lot to say about Tracy Morgan's character, who, you know, is a baby daddy, went to jail or whatever. It's a really funny show. I didn't think I would like it. I tried it and I watched, I think, the whole first season in like 2 days. It's really funny. Happy to see that she is starting to get back into the mix of things, and maybe she can recoup some of her notoriety and cash that she lost over all those years beefing with Will Smith. So shout out to Janet, shout out to Tracy Morgan and that whole squad for showing some love to her.
Yeah. Entering the room right now, our special guest has one of our special. Are we gonna be joined by JQ as well?
I hope so. You know, I apologize. We are like actually in the middle of editing our movie, so we completely got distracted. I don't know if you could hear it in the background, but in the other room is the editing booth, and we are like right in the middle of editing. So I apologize.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen of Breakout Music and Film, Miss Miriam Bavly. Hi.
Hey there. How you doing?
Good. I'm T Storm. This is Mike Swift. Welcome to the show. Congratulations on your movie deal.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's going. It's amazing.
So you guys, okay, so from we kind of explained a little bit ahead of time before you guys got in the room, but maybe you can kind of break it down a little bit. You're working on holiday movies, and Netflix has picked up a trilogy of those movies.
Netflix picked up our first movie, and that was absolutely amazing. And right now we are still open to where we're going to land the second movie. We had a few offers on our first movie, so we might figure. We're in the process of figuring that out right now, where this one's going to land.
So the first movie on Netflix is available now, or that comes out later on this year?
Oh no, it's been available since November.
Oh, okay. Oh, it came out for the holidays. Got it.
Yeah, the app that's still Christmas.
The app that's still Christmas. I saw some of the clips.
Still Christmas is currently on Netflix. It will be on Netflix for a number of years. We have a license agreement with them. And the drone that saved Christmas is what just went into production. We finished production on March 24th, and right now we're in editing I'm doing the director's cut, which is going on without me right now for a few minutes, so I can talk to you.
Got it. No, thank you for taking time, though. We appreciate it.
You might be able to hear it in the background a little bit, because right behind this wall I'm looking is the editing room. So.
Got it.
Hopefully no one will hear any spoilers.
Right. So you guys started out as a label, Breakout Music.
We're a music label, and we went into movies very quickly. So we started, the company started in March 2000. With COVID, I'm getting all the dates mixed up. March 2019. And by the fall, we were also doing movies. We felt it was a great way to put to promote our music, basically. So all our music for our artists go into our movies.
Excellent.
Yeah. So it's basically Netflix has been distributing our music for the past several months.
I love the hustle.
So, right.
Always
so,
innovating.
Miriam, one of the things we like to do on the show. I'm going to make sure
that I get JQ in here. He's in the next room too. So just so you know, I will pull him in at some point.
Okay.
Fantastic. One of the things we like to do on the show is talk about your journey, right? Because I think for aspiring musicians, aspiring actors, aspiring filmmakers, it's easy to look at your success. It's easy to look at the final product and say, oh, that's great. I want to do it. But without having any real exposure to the journey, they don't have a roadmap. So can you talk to us about your background, how you even got into making music, which led you into making film?
Sure. And JQ's experience is completely different from mine. So I can only speak about my situation. But I'm from Boston. I grew up basically not doing anything in entertainment business. I went to Harvard undergrad, Harvard graduate school in totally different fields. And I worked as a management consultant for years. I got into the entertainment business because my daughter was in the entertainment business. She was in movies and music, and she writes her own music. So I was basically managing her And then I started, so basically for about 10 years. And then I met Peter out there in LA. We were like, okay, let's or JQ, because he goes by both names. We started working together. Like I started the company, and he's a musician and an actor. I was like, you've got to work in my company. So he's actually my co-CEO. And we just very quickly moved from doing music, but also doing movies. It's been very difficult. I wouldn't say like, this is something that's easy to do. We work so hard. And just if you think about the production of the movie, first we write all the movies. So we write the scripts, the screenplays.
Okay.
So we take it from the very beginning to the titles of the movie to the actual selling of the movies. So there is nothing that we don't do. Editing, we're doing the editing right now. We do the music, we do the placement of the music. We're involved in the sound design. Every piece of a movie production we're involved in. So during movie production, I would say that we were averaging maybe 4 hours of sleep per night for over the 2-week period that we were shooting. And I'm not exaggerating in any way. A lot of hard work. So if you're not dedicated, and if you're not going to see things through and take responsibility there for everything that goes on, you're probably not going to do that well, because there are so many moving parts, so many things that we learned from our first movie. That it's so exhausting. I mean, but it's all worth it, because, if it's your dream, to do this, you're going to make it.
No, you dig it.
And we did. It's our first movie that we wrote and produced, and it's on Netflix. So now we're going into movie 2. This movie, honestly, it's very different from the first movie, even though it's sort of part of sort of loosely a trilogy. It's an amazing movie. Like, we just learned so much from the first one, and now we're leveraging that, and we wrote and produced the second one. So we're really excited about what's to come with this one. It's much more international and global feel for this one as well.
So you two did all of the writing yourselves.
100%.
So you're responsible for the humor.
All of it. I mean, of course, the actors come in and they put their little flavor on some of the things that you say, but we are responsible for the humor, and it's funny too.
Yeah.
But we have great comedians too who come in on set, and they put a twist on what we wrote, and we do we don't allow all actors to come in and ad lib or do that, but there are one or two that we feel confident in, especially Miguel Nunez. He comes in and he's funny as heck. So we can't stop him. And that's his, he's not someone who's going to live exactly by every word in the script anyway. So, but we accept that with him because he's so talented.
Yeah, that was a good get. I mean, I was looking at the cast listing for the second film and looking back at the first film. He's a big name. How did you get him on board?
We have this is an ensemble cast. Miguel is amazing. He's so funny in this movie, but we have amazing people in this movie. It's not just one person who holds it all together. It's really a whole ensemble that pulls it together. Special K is hysterical. Who else? There's so many people that are so amazing that are holding this. I can't even. Torre Carr, do you know him? You might know him from the radio business, but he's incredible as well. I mean, he steals the show, I have to tell you.
Oh, wow.
You guys actually have a lot of radio folks in there. Rashawn Ali, Angela Yee.
Oh, Rashawn, amazing. Angela Yee is amazing. Oh my gosh. See, I can't even remember who's in this film because it's so amazing. Let me welcome JQ the Legend right here. Can you see him in here?
Hey.
Yes, we can.
Welcome, brother.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. We're in the editing room working on the director's cut in record time. So we're trying to keep our momentum. Thank you for having us on. We appreciate the love and the support.
They were just asking about the process and how you get from, they'd like to educate their people about the process from going from music and film and how you do that. So I shared a little bit from my perspective and where I started, and you might want to share yours as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep that light. So we're all into lighting.
Okay, I'm falling off the seat here, but that's okay.
So for us, music is a vertical and a lateral at the same time. We're a truly independent label that knows how to do a 50-50 deal. Not a 50-50 deal is not for everyone,
right,
but we can do it because we have our own resources. So we're in that first 50 phase doing it ourselves. If a major label comes to us, they've got to respect what we've invested, or we're going to continue to stay indie. But meanwhile, we're distributed by Netflix. Think about that, 20 million or so. We're estimating we did something in that range from what we've been hearing, between 18 and 20 million in December during that 6-week period. And our music is on a major platform. And so we sort of cracked the code, and now we're leveling up and bringing you something even more with more funny, with more diversity, with more pro-social in these times. And what we did is just level up once we understood our formula and stay within our niche. So in the new norm, distribution is distribution. Whether you get it from a commercial spot that is featuring your music, whether you get it from being one of the theme songs for your podcast, it's still distribution and it's still promotion. So what we're doing is looking laterally and vertically and sort of adjusting to what the new norm is post-COVID, and that is visual media, heavily driven visual media. TikTok did some amazing things, Versus did some amazing things, and Netflix did some amazing things to keep us from ripping each other apart. So I think Breakout Music, we fell into the right zone at the right time for an indie label, and we're happy to, we believe after you win one fight, you get back in the ring and fight again. And that's what we're doing with this even more beefy, amazing new movie that we're doing. So that's what we're doing. And right now we're in the suite, we're editing. We got to go to New Orleans to do some interviews on another project that we're doing, a docu-reality that we're being asked to do. And the gates are opening and Atlanta's wide open. I love this state. It's not my home state, but man, they're open for business, and they're trying to do it right. They're trying to, in spite of the things you see with the protest and otherwise, the facility we're in is amazing. It's Hollywood level, the company that we're working with for editing and post. But we don't have the parking problems as Hollywood. We don't have the stuff being spread out. And they're taking COVID. We think they're taking COVID serious. So it's a pleasure working here, and being here in this environment in Atlanta makes us feel like we can do it, and we can take on stuff and get our momentum going before the game really comes back around. So we're blessed to be here.
I was going to ask, so y'all shot these movies during COVID?
Indeed. Yeah, it cost us a good 20% more in our budget to do 6 or 7 different COVID tests over 12 days. And we pleased to say after a couple hundred COVID tests, no one was positive, and we had a good bubble.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It was very important to keep everybody safe on set. Number one priority.
If I'd have known you guys were in Atlanta, I'd have come down to where you are. I'm in Atlanta also. Been here all my life.
We would have loved to have you, man. We have a lot of radio personalities on this one. And comedians, definitely.
Oh, man.
Yeah. We were just talking about, Rashawn and Angela Yee and some of the other folks, Special K.
Ray Carr, right.
So you mentioned it, in these times and everything that's going on, protesting. And, on this show, I've been very outspoken about opportunities for African Americans, opportunities for minorities in Hollywood and in filmmaking. And when we get an opportunity to tell a story, a lot of times we don't tell the best stories, right? We go to the base level and it's a drug story or a crime story. It was very refreshing to see the type of stories you're telling. There's humor, there's religion, there are lessons. It showcases people in a good light. Was that intentional? Or did you just kind of happen upon it?
100% intentional.
We're dealing with double Harvard major here. Come on now, in state law school. So the message and the hooks, that's, for anyone and young people out there, or people who are making a shift in their career and just going for it, this post-COVID, there's no reason not to take that risk. Do something that's going to last. Do something that is pro-social and uplifting humanity, because that is recyclable, and that's what we believe in.
But yeah, I mean, basically, before we even started writing the first one, we wanted to make sure we wrote a movie that people were going to be proud of. That wasn't about people killing each other or,
the struggle,
being dark, but it was just sort of a happy that we can, people could watch it with their families, and you're going to be very happily surprised with this one as well. It's even more exciting and family friendly.
The hook in this one is goodness is given.
Okay.
Like Christmas is about presents, not presents. And in this new movie, goodness is given.
Got it. What was this decision to do holiday film?
Now you're getting into our head.
Because all
I'll say is,
because there's three of them.
You guys have a niche. We have a niche. Okay, so it's important to have a niche as you go out there and embark on these perilous journeys.
And we have many Christmas songs as well in our repertoire, so it fits right in for us as well.
Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa. We got a lot coming.
Yeah. Again, I respect the hustle. For real.
We appreciate that, man. Partnership is important.
Mm-hmm.
I trust my partner is going to work, period, and not be a slacker, just like you'd probably trust your partner, because I could see the energy that you have there. I think that's part of the formula.
Mm-hmm.
I could dig it. What other stories can we look from you guys coming up?
It gets deeper. Mm-hmm. It gets deeper. As we move into a studio and as we move into bigger budgets, we're ready to handle 10 million above films. So that's why we're allowing ourselves to sort of be interviewed and people talk to us, because we know we have the throughput and the logistics, the accountant, all of the risk management. We know the business is important, but we want to be able to bring in some big talent and attach them to our stories now, because we have the formula worked out.
Right.
And so we're going to take on some difficult issues. The film that Will Smith just pulled from Atlanta because of the voting issue, subjects like that. I don't remember the name of it right now. Do you remember what it's called? The new one that Will's doing. But those issues where you're dealing with race and civil rights, we're going to get into that, because naturally Miriam's diversity being a female, strong, well-educated, my diversity being a Black male, I think I'm well-educated. There are issues that we see from different perspectives, and we're trying to bring those to the forefront in order to do our part in the current climate of valuing one another in the proper way, so that we can deal with some of these law enforcement officers that just pulling up on kids and pulling the trigger because they're not seeing them as valuable human beings. The moment a kid puts down a gun and throws his hands up, you got to say, that could be my child doing something dumb, and not shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so some of the things that we want to address is the sensitivity of seeing each other as human, regardless of our situation and mistakes and our diversity.
Yeah.
I like the
you
hustle.
realize that JQ is a civil rights entertainment lawyer for 20 years.
Right. I'm going to say, I'm about to mention that that's very humble of. I think you're an attorney by trade, correct?
Well, I play an attorney in this movie. I hung up the shingle, and I feel like I'm on the sidelines. But and that hurts some days when I look. I said, I could be out there doing something about it. But I was on the front line when it wasn't popular. So for me to now have a bigger platform, I think it's a blessing, and we're able to circle back and tell those stories. Like Spike Lee would, or Ava DuVernay would. Those are some of the things that we're trying to do, is to take what we've learned and where we've come from, our perspectives, and merge them and show a better America and a better world that we could have.
And I was going to say that we're so different. Just looking at us, you can say, how do these two people work together? How do they write together? But it's incredible, but our writing process is amazing. And given that we have such diverse perspectives, it makes our writing more rich, I believe.
Definitely.
As long as you have better wigs in your films than Tyler Perry's last film, it's all great.
All right, I'm not gonna touch that one. I'd be happy to work at Tyler's facility and to piggyback on his distribution. Tyler could spare 10, 20 million. We're okay. So I'm gonna let you have that one.
Listen, I think you guys are an example, being so different, being able to essentially build a plane while you're flying it. Right. And it comes out to be a great plane, and now you're building another one. So I think, that you're a shining testament to how two different groups can come together and be successful together. The Will Smith film was Emancipation, is the movie that
that's
he recently
Yes,
pulled.
we want to do stuff like that. Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have it stuff written already. We're just real secretive about what's next for us.
No, I could dig it. I respect that.
Did the voting laws deter you guys at all? The change in Georgia?
That erupted while we were here, and we're shocked with Warner and the two new legislators that came out of here. We ask ourselves, how can a small group control the masses.
Right.
And Atlanta is so woke. How do you let that happen on the heels of Biden coming in, that momentous election, and the Keisha Bottoms, and how do you let that happen? So that's where filmmakers, we get interested. We start thinking, I think we're going to expose this to the masses, and we're going to script that up and put it out there, and have people look at it and say, this is mine. I have agency in this. We can't take our eyes off the legislators. So it's good material for us to write about, and it erupted while we were here. And believe me, it's made an impression on us to where it's probably going to come through one of our scripts.
Yeah, I hate that it affects people who are working and making a living, and they had a job and now they don't, or they'll have to travel to continue that work. But on the flip side, that's how you affect change. You affect budgets and wallets, and that's how you affect change. So kudos to Will Smith, kudos to Mr. Fuqua for doing that.
Indeed.
We know you guys are busy editing your film, man. We appreciate you taking time to sit with us and talk with us, man. And we wish you more success. And we're looking forward to great things coming from you guys. More great things.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, and you guys are great. You guys have an awesome team. I love the energy that you guys have. Got great radio voices. I love it.
Well, thank you.
We may need some radio talent for our next film, so we'll be looking out.
I'm here for it.
Give us a call.
Absolutely.
So, T-Storm, where are you located? Michael, you're in Atlanta.
I'm in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're in New York. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we're into territory. That's why we did that remix of my song Body Talk with Hood Celebrity, because we wanted New York behind us.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Look,
oh, man.
That Body Talk is heat.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got
Thank you. You should check out the new video we just dropped. February, she and I worked on a video in New Orleans for the It Could Be You bounce mix shot in New Orleans. It Could Be You bounce mix. We got the idea from Drake, where he did In My Feelings with Felicia Ahmad Rashad. So Miriam was like, you need to shoot something that looks like a tourism, mysterious New Orleans video. We got down there with our team, and we think we created another really good piece that's going to stand the test of times. Got a little flesh in it, but we are real conservative. So we got it to be sexy, but without crossing that line. And so it's out there on YouTube, and it'll be picked up by MTV next week, I think. So we're proud of that too. And we're constantly working, constantly telling stories.
That's what's up.
I haven't seen the video yet, but I've heard the song. And look, one thing I'll say about your music is I know you guys got to go. I'll say this and we'll wrap. One thing that I'll say about your music is, and I don't know if you do it on purpose or if you creatively just happen to land in that space, it is very radio friendly. I can hear that song on any radio station. As soon as I put it on, I was like, oh, that's Q100. That's Star 94. That's Hot 97. It's
maybe we need to call here. Maybe we need to reach out to you and consult in our radio.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we're gonna have to have a back conversation.
I say our music has been. I mean, JQ the Legend's music has been on not top 40, has been on urban, it's been on R&B, it's been on rhythmic, it's been on hot AC. So it's been almost on every format. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah,
we've quietly charted across formats here in the U.S. and the U.K. I think we have 5 top 10s in the UK.
Oh man!
Wow!
Across club and other things, and in the US, she's correct. We have songs on every category. Our other artist, Gigi Vega, she's doing well in top 40 now. She's moving over to AC, and she has a video rotate on MTV Yo and MTV U. We're quiet, but we're focused more on the grind. But the accolades are there. If you pull us up in Media Base, you'll say, who's this little company here charting these artists, these 2 artists? And it's us with a little train that's trying.
Michael, we hope to meet you. I mean, we're Atlanta quite a bit, so hopefully we'll get to see you in person.
Absolutely. Just, let's connect. We can do the exchange over email, because we're going to continue the show a little bit after you guys go. But for everybody who wants to hear the music, who wants to see the movie, who wants to learn more about you, where can they get in touch with you? Where can they find you?
Well, there's breakoutmusic.com is a great place to start.
Yes, www.breakoutmusic.com and Instagram.
Yeah, at Breakout Music Official, JQ the Legend, Gigi Vega Official.
Yes. Instagram, Breakout Music Official, JQ the Legend on Instagram, and Gigi Vega Official. But you can find all of it by going to www.breakoutmusic.com, and it links to everything. We think for anyone out there trying to learn from this show and these fine gentlemen, your brick and mortar, your store is your digital presence. Take it serious and work on it. So our Breakout Music website is sort of our part of our core, but also our other social media. And from there, we found ourselves on Netflix. So take every little step serious in this process.
That's what's up.
We actually had a conversation with DC the Legend from, not DC the Legend, DC the Brain Supreme from Tag Team a few weeks ago, and he was saying the exact same thing. And he spent a lot of time and energy in figuring out SEO and his Google ranking and that kind of thing. And yeah,
he's mastered it now.
Completely agree.
He has mastered SEO now. So, because he said at one point when he put up Tag Team before, wrestling, all you would see is wrestling. And he figured out how to change that. And now you see Tag Team Pub. And plus it doesn't hurt that they're on a huge commercial now as well. So
that SEO ranking is going to help that in SEI. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for taking time to sit and talk with us. We will we'll link up. I'll send a message through Jody so we can link up offline. And we appreciate you taking time to sit with us, y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Perfect time, buddy. We're back.
Oh, man.
Good folks, man. I like it.
Went good. Yeah, and this is Jody texting me now. We have to edit out my silence.
Another good interview.
Excellent.
Dude, I think I've gone through everything we had to talk about. You want to just go ahead and wrap?
Too. We can get ahead and wrap, man. I was going to wrap with them on the show, but hey, listen, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Go to our website, unpopinshow.com. You hit the subscription button for everything there. Follow us on all socials at Unpopin Show. I'm on everything as well at The Real T Storm. DJ Mike Swift. I am DJ Mike Swift on Facebook, but find us all, everything at unpopinshow.com, and you can hit all the different buttons to follow and subscribe there. And I think that'll do it for now. After show, we'll talk a little shit.
Yeah, let's pop over to the after show for a few minutes, talk a little shit, and then get up out of here. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching the Unpopular Opinion Show right here on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button.
Yeah, hit it. You haven't hit it yet.
You ain't hit it yet. What do you? Oh, come on,
just hit it. Okay, the like button too. I mean, you got it.
Yes, got it. All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.